Look, anybody who spends any time at all testing the fates gambling knows that it's not always easy to leave the casino with the money that you brought. And well, compounding that precarious situation is when the casino makes a mistake. And on this last cruise, the casino admitted that they made a mistake. Tales of high seas gambling on today's episode. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here to talk you through everything going on in cruising. And today I've got three interesting stories for you from the NCL cruise. I just went on the NCL Prima directly from the casino. A story of woe, a story of celebration, and a story of an aha moment when it comes to cruising casinos. Let's start with my tale of woe. It happened to me again, y'all. If you've been following the channel at all for a while, you know that I transitioned over the last year from playing primarily craps to playing blackjack. And on the blackjack table in many of the cruise casinos, there is a variety of side bets, including a side bet called the Lucky Ladies. And you may remember that when I was in Australia, I basically won the Lucky Ladies. I had the 2 Queen of Hearts. The dealer had a blackjack. It would have awarded me a free cruise. It would have given me $5,000 if I'd bet $5. But none of that came true because I don't play the side bets. You know, for a while, it was pretty contentious. I thought maybe I should play the side bets, even though the math suggests that it's never going to be a positive venture, that I'm going to win more money than I lose in the long term. The math doesn't suggest that at all, but the immediacy of the moment, the emotional feeling of the moment, losing out on the Queen of Hearts almost had me betting the side bet. But you know what I said to myself? That's never going to happen to me again. I'm never going to go and get all of the right conditions to win the 1,000 to 1 bet. Well, I just was on the NCL Prima, and fortunately, they don't have the Lucky Ladies. I don't have to worry about that. But they do have this thing called the King's Bounty. And the King's Bounty works very similar to the Lucky Ladies. In this scenario, if you get 2 Kings of Spades as your first 2 cards and the dealer has a blackjack, well, you get 1,000 to 1 your bet on the side bet. If you get just the 2 Kings without the dealer having blackjack, you get paid 100 to 1. And so, it happened. Partly, I had a hand on that cruise where I had the 2 Kings of Spades and the dealer was showing an ace. It was so close for it to be the full Monty for the 1,000 to 1, but fortunately, the dealer only had a 9 as their down card, so I did not miss out on an opportunity to win 1,000 to 1, but I did miss out on an opportunity to win 100 to 1, but I'll continue to hold to the math that it is a bad bet, that even though lightning strikes occasionally, in the long run, if you bet that bet, you will be down money. That's my take on it. Everybody has their own money. They can play any way that they want to play. And ironically, I also got the Queen of Hearts pair again on the Prima. It didn't mean anything on the Prima, but for like the 4th time now, that's the Queen of Hearts that have come my way. A tale of woe, a tale of opportunity lost, but probably a tale of money saved in the long run by not betting the side bets. So let's put that tale of woe behind us and talk about a tale of celebration. I met a gentleman on the NCL Prima that won $15,000 on a slot machine. I remember it very vividly because the slot machine that hit this $15,000 jackpot was just down from the blackjack table that I was playing at. And when that slot bell went to ringing and the people around the slot machine went to exclaiming with glee and joy, it was a wild scene. Immediately, the supervisor in the tables area went over to see what all the hubbub was, and he came back and he was mouthing quietly to other supervisors in the area, "There's $15,000 jackpot, 15,000. And that's all I knew about the jackpot at the time. However, I would run into this gentleman later who had a very interesting quandary about getting his money back into the United States, but he gave me the full deets on what happened. It's a simple story. He won that $15,000 jackpot on an 88-cent bet. There's a whole philosophy when it comes to slot machines. Some people will tell you have to bet the max, you have to play all of the lines if you want to get the big win. Well, this guy was just betting 88 cents, which I think might have been the minimum or close to the minimum, and a whammo bammo slammo 15K in your pocket. Now, the gentleman revealed to me later that he took his payout in a check and in cash. So he got a $10,000 check and he had $5,000 in cash. And he asked me what the scenario was when it comes to customs. And I did not know, but I did some research. When you come to the United States, you should clear any monies over $10,000 regardless of the form that it is in. So you got the $10,000 check, you got the $5,000 cash. By the letter of the law, from what I'm reading, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, but from what it seems to be as put forth on the Customs and Border Protection website, is that you should declare anything over $10,000. Like I said in a previous episode here on the channel, customs now for cruise ships are very interesting. Many of them have facial recognition. Many times you do not have to fill out a customs form. You do not have to interact with a customs officer. And so this jackpot win opens up an interesting scenario for this gentleman. You now have more money than you're supposed to have entering into the United States. How do you go through that process? Do you go somewhere and try to talk to a customs officer, or do you just go to the facial recognition and leave and go back onto your merry way? I don't know, but either way, $15,000 jackpot win on an 88-cent bet. Now, I got to tell you about the scenario where the casino admitted to making a mistake. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, well, you can place a bet that I will be here frequently to tell you about it. And if you like this type of presentation, or if you just want to be in the know, go ahead, do yourself a favor, hit the subscribe button with the notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. All right, so here's the story. One of our traveling companions on the NCL Prima came up to us at dinner and said he got approached by the casino staff while he was playing his favorite table game and said, at some point, we need to speak to you, sir, which is, it's disconcerting, right? Like if you're sitting there doing your own thing, especially like blackjack, and all of a sudden some of the supervisors come over and tap you on the shoulder and they want to talk to you about your play. You're like, oh, what's going on? Am I going to get pulled into a back room here? And well, time went on and he did not finish his session. And so they pulled him away from the table because maybe they wanted to get this off their chest. They pulled him off to the side and they said, sir, we just want to tell you that we made a mistake. And he was like, you made a mistake? It's like, yes, we were supposed to pay you for a hand that you were playing and we failed to do so. And so now we want to give you the $190 that you would have won for the hand that we made a mistake by not paying you, which is fantastical in its own right, that they are so aware of what's going on in the game that they're able to figure out that they mispaid you or didn't pay you, that they made a mistake. But what makes this story even more fantastical is that the hand that they did not pay him correctly on, that they made the mistake on, happened in November of 2022. That's right, we're on this cruise in March of 2023. They've approached him and said, as they were reviewing the film, they realized that they made a mistake back in November of 2022 and they wanted to make it right. That's a crazy story. He asked them about their process. They do reviews on a daily basis. They make notes of where there were mispays, that kind of stuff, and they do their best to track down the players and make sure that they are treated correctly, that they are paid for their wins when they're supposed to be paid for their wins. Certainly, I doubt they're going and looking for when they, erroneously paid somebody. I can just imagine like the head of security is like Teddy KGB and they're like, pay him. Pay that man his money. What's your favorite gambling movie? I was thinking about this as I was driving to the office today. There are two gambling movies that I can watch anytime that I see them. Number one is Rounders, one of my favorite movies of all time, a poker movie. And then, of course, The Color of Money, which is a pool hall movie. Where I was picking my coffee up this morning right next to a pool hall, and I was thinking, man, is there any movie any better than The Color of Money when it comes to shooting pool? I mean, you could argue The Hustler, which The Color of Money was the next iteration of that, or Pool Hall Junkies, but man, the kind of aging Paul Newman and the young Tom Cruise playing Vincent, it's good stuff. Do you have a favorite gambling movie? Are you Ocean's 11? Do you like that? Yeah. Leave a comment below. And as I often say when we talk about gambling, gambling can be a great form of entertainment, but it can also be a very destructive thing in life. The endorphin rush that you get, the addiction, the chasing the high, all that stuff is there in gambling. And so you've got to know yourself and know your limits. And if you are struggling with gambling addiction, I will certainly leave the number for you to call, the hotline. Please, 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 please. take care of yourself when it comes to that. I hope you enjoyed this episode. You can show your support by hitting the like button. And unfortunately, if you do not hit the like button, I will be forced to punish you, and your punishment will be this. You'll be playing a big hand in blackjack, and a person that's not playing a big hand in blackjack will decide to split tens. Split tens, and it will annoy you. That will happen, whether you hit the like button or not. But go ahead and hit the like button. This is Tony for La Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.